their world! We'll build a better one!
Finally, I have returned after nearly a 3-year hiatus. So before I begin, I'm going to explain real quick. This is not about hate speech. This has always been about facts, opinions, and expressing my feelings on how I feel about this whole thing that we have been in for the past nearly 5 years of everything. And now it has come full circle that everything that I'll be talking about will be the individuals who I have set out on my last video on part 2 of my major channel update. And if those, fanboys of FujiTube, Keemstar, Philip DeFranco, and everybody else want to hate on me, go ahead, hate. Your hate and negative energy will give me more strength to do a whole lot more that I desire. So with that being said, let the games begin.
I encourage all of you to please share this video. Creators need to rise up, and they just need to know that all this is happening. And it needs to be hit over the head, because I want everyone to stop living in fear and denial that YouTube isn't acting this way or hasn't been behaving this way. It's because we feel we have no alternative. I think people are afraid to speak out against the hand that feeds them. But you know this is wrong. I know you've been waiting for a greater call. Join the fire. Let's build Storyfire together.
For quite some time that I've watched big YouTubers back then, when everything was all cool and everything, when some of us was coming up after the fallout change of term and service and policies and thresholds and stuff. I've actually had the time to watch one individual who was actually entertaining in some way, shape, and form. It goes by the name of Jesse Ridgway, aka McJuggernuggets. Now, since the time that I've absolutely saw his content, it was absolutely good back then. He was making well over 2 million views per video. And at the same time that he done all of this, the fallout came right when, the demonetizations became to be. And by the time that everything that came all in full circle, his revenue started to go down, his merch sponsorships started to go down, and it just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse until right when, in the winter of 2019, when he announced that in January 1st, 2020, that he said that he was really going to quit and started his own video sharing site called Storyfire. I knew what Storyfire was. It was going to be just like YouTube. But the only question was, did it actually work to his benefit? Knowing he's trying to compete to a juggernaut that has been around for like 15, 16, 17 years. Like I said, my last video, Story Fire, was a little minnow in a big ocean. You have sharks, you have whales, you have so many mammals that will actually just gobble you up, chew you up, and spit you out. And in the end result, he quit and went on Story Fire. It did good in the beginning until about 6, 7, 8 months later. It didn't actually pan out so well. Story Fire itself shut down, and he had no choice but to come back to the place that he quit from. And that was YouTube, of course. I mean, knowing that you've quit and came back again because you said yourself that YouTube has been your life. Actually, you've been part of this half of your life. And then all of a sudden now, you go and quit, start your own video sharing site, didn't work so well, then come back. Now that you're back on YouTube, the only question that I have for you is what are you prepared to do? Knowing that some of us content creators, besides yourself and everybody else that already knows the truth, you only know just a little fraction of what's been going on so far ever since your time away. So, yeah. Hopefully, by the time that you absolutely hear this, you'll absolutely start to learn and understand of what I'm talking about. So, after all of this is going on, hopefully that you'll come to and realize that you and everybody else and big YouTubers have been on here first, but the powers that be, CEO herself, happened to made other plans besides you guys. Food for thought.
The right to say that I'm black because I'm like ancestor. All I know is I took the test and they said I was black. Well, they said I didn't say I was black, but they said I had black in me.
Son of a bitch!
If I wanted to be fucking black, you would hear me talking about I'm black. I would be saying the N-word. I would be fucking doing shit that black people do. The fuck, I don't act black. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Who wants to be black? I don't understand that. I really just can't comprehend it.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
So this next segment is going to be talked about. That'll be crammed up into two. Well, will be Whoa Vicky and Cash Me Outside Girl. And no, I'm not even going to say her real name and her other nickname because she doesn't deserve it on her part, because we all know that the real reason why that she got so famous is because of Dr. Phil. So with all that being said, I will start with Whoa Vicky first. For quite some time that she happens to go forth and say that she's black. And of course, if y'all want to take this out of context, feel free to do so, because I'm no racist. This is not about race, but she made it all about how she supposed to be this way. And obviously, no. She is not who she says she is. She's all doing this pretend. She's doing this all for more clout. Of course, everybody has to find something to talk about, that there's something that they're actually, truly not. And being black is not one of them, because let's face facts. You wouldn't even begin to be in our shoes, even if you think that you are the skin color that you think you are. At the same time, you wouldn't absolutely go through the struggles that we actually go through. Because if my memory serves me correctly, did this happen to you all so long ago?
Her mugshot has been released. We obtained a copy of it this morning. And along those lines, we also got a copy of her police report. And if you don't know anything about Whoa Vicky, I suggest Googling her. It's a trip. This woman's essentially famous for saying that she's black when in fact she's clearly a white girl. So we got her police report and it clearly states her race is white. So.
And as I thought, like I always said, you may have a boyfriend who is black, but that doesn't label you as one of us, because you will always wake up one day and look in the mirror and know that you are who you say that you are not. But in reality, you are who you are. Hell, if you don't believe me, you can go on YouTube right now and actually say that your mom would actually say something completely different about what you've been saying for the past 5 years. So now let's cut right to Cash Me Outside Girl. Like I said, I'm not going to say her real name or her other name that she called herself. So basically, real reason why I'm not saying this is because she will always and ever will be remembered on Dr. Phil, because this is who she is. We all know this because this is how she got famous in the first place. So Dr. Phil, congratulations. You created a social media monster who, in fact, has not even passed the 5th grade, 6th, 7th grade. Hell, have not even passed middle school, not even going to middle school. So after all of this, of course, now that she's almost 20 years old, now that she has, you know, finally set up an OnlyFans.com account that she, like, faster than anyone on that platform, has well over $1 million being sent to her account within 6 hours. And all I have to tell you, ignorant people, we've worked so hard, we have done so many things to try to keep ourselves safe from this pandemic, but you ignorant people, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Why would you give money to someone who really don't deserve to be famous like this, knowing that people are dying out there during this pandemic and we're still not out of this pandemic? Why? The craziest part of the whole thing is that now, after 5 years for her being famous like this, now that she has like now 10, 20, 30, 40, now her net worth is now $50 million, and it still ain't gonna, it's not gonna stop there. We all know this. But the craziest part of the whole thing is the fact that what really got me baffled on this whole thing is that second time being on Dr. Phil, how come that she did not call out on some of the things that she saw of what she knew, but she absolutely covered it up because she wanted to get famous. She wanted the 15 minutes of fame to blossom into something for her liking. But at the same time, after all of this, now that she has $50 million, now she wants to speak out now. After the, you know, if you don't believe me, go ahead and type it. Go ahead and type it in the search engine, because this is what she does. She feels that now that she has all this money, now that she wants to go ahead and talk about it, now that she wants to say, now that she want to talk about the ranch that she was supposed to be on, like some boot camp, and now that she feels that she wants to talk about it now, and that she could have just addressed this when she was on Dr. Phil, it's already too late. It's too late for that, really. I mean, and another thing before I leave and go into the next segment is the fact that now that she's another one that feels that now that she's how can I say this? She was blackfishing. If that's the proper word to say on this platform, because I don't want to be deleted off this, because some of the things that I've seen on here about her is 100% facts. And it's all 100% true. She trying to be like us. Like I said, for you too, Whoa Vicky and Cash Me Outside Girl, you can walk, you can talk, you can act. But being the skin color that we have been born with, I'm sorry, you can't, because we have to wake up early in the morning to go out here and put boots to asses every single day, knowing that we struggle, we survive, and we strive. The 3 S's that we stand by for all these years. But you use that as a punchline because now that your serious bankroll has come all the way up to $50 million. Congratulations. Now that you want to go from there, now you want to go ahead and try to take legal action on the one who created you, who absolutely made you famous, who absolutely got you where you are today. And now all of a sudden, now after 5 years of having all this fame, and now that you want to talk about all of this, really, you want to talk about this now? Let me give you a piece of advice. Go ahead and keep doing what you're doing, because after a while, all this is going to get up to you and is going to weigh in on you as you get older. And the older you get, the harder it becomes. Like Biggie Smalls said it best: more money, more problems. You will make more money at the end of the day, but later on down the road, more problems for you and Whoa Vicky and others will ascend. So for you two silly rabbits, tricks are for kids.
The best boxer on the planet is
Jake Paul.
What? Why?
I mean, who's doing it?
I mean, if Mike Tyson says, let's do this, are you down?
100%.
What?
Mike.
It's Mike Tyson.
It's Mike Tyson, but there's everyone
obviously
has
it's huge. Yeah.
Everyone has a time limit on when they're ready to be the best version of themselves.
Right.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, no.
What career does he have ahead of him? I'm 24 years old. I could take over the world. I could become the next Muhammad Ali at the rate this is going. So what does he have? He has nothing. I have a much bigger story here, a much greater presence, and I'm doing something that no one's ever done before. For him to win, it doesn't help the sport, it doesn't help the world, and no one will really care.
Say we flip him. Heads we beat him up, tails we beat him up.
And so we absolutely add another segment to this part 6. And right before that, I actually go to Logan Paul. We'll go right to his brother, Jake Paul. As you can see, he is another YouTuber gone boxer. Why? It is because when you reach 1 million subscribers or more, you'll absolutely run out of ideas. And then what idea that you can go to is boxing. So for Jake Paul, of course, he's been making the news as of late. I mean, this is another YouTuber gone boxing to further his reputation, his ego, of course. But we already know how this is already going to go. And so far, he's undefeated. He's 5-0. Would have been 6-0. He would have been 7-0. But we already know why that he wouldn't take those last 2 fights. The first fight was Tommy Fury, because that fight was supposed to happen and it didn't, because Tommy Fury was late and Jake Paul canceled the fight. Why? You could at least extended the time, or at least having the delay until he actually made it, and then it would have been rescheduled or postponed. And then the second fight between him and Hasim Rahman Jr. was supposed to take place at Madison Square Garden, and it really didn't pan out because Hasim Rahman Jr. was supposed to, drop weight down to 205, but he was a heavyweight. His body couldn't allow him to do that. So what did Jake Paul do? He canceled the fight. Why? To hold on your undefeated streak in boxing? Come on. we already know for a fact that everybody's been calling you out. Let's see. Andrew Tate was calling you out. Who else? Dana White. There is so many others that's calling you out. I mean, if you want to be a legitimate contender in the boxing world, you need to fight some top contenders like Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, or you could even pick a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Of course, I wouldn't try your hand at Money Mayweather because he will always finesse hardworking people out of their money. And speaking of Logan Paul, yes, Logan Paul happened to not gotten his money out of the entire deal. so sorry to be him. But anyway, for Jake Paul, I'm sorry, but in order for you to be a legitimate boxer, you need to fight real fighters. Fighting, boxers or celebrities who has no boxing experience or anything is really not good for your reputation. And if you feel like that you need to go back and try to regroup, you could. I mean, I don't have any disregard on his skills, but I already know that he is going to be great, but he needs to stop fighting these other has-beens and start taking these, boxing thing real seriously by going up against real top contenders. If he really wants to go through with this, you can't just back out a doggone fight when you sign the contract. There's no way it could be done. People has already been saying so much about you, and not to mention now this fight has already happened. Now it's already up for grabs. Now it is Jake Paul going up against a UFC legend going by the name of Anderson Silva. Yes, Anderson Silva. He's a living legend. He has been around the MMA for over 25 years, and he is still the best. Everybody's doubling down on Jake Paul to KO Anderson Silva, but you have to take a good look at Anderson Silva's boxing background. Don't let his jiu-jitsu fool you. I mean, before you become a jiu-jitsu MMA fighter, it all goes back to boxing, of course. So Anderson Silva has boxing experience. Jake Paul has just about enough, but not nearly enough as Anderson Silva. Why do you think Anderson Silva's nickname is Spider? Because as soon as Jake Paul gets caught in the web, that's it. He's done. I mean, all I'm saying is that for Jake Paul, you need to take this seriously. You can't just pick random has-been fighters who've actually been retired or out of shape or has little to none of boxing experiences. I mean, this is not how boxing is supposed to be, and this is the main reason why I don't watch boxing. I don't watch boxing anymore ever since Tyson and Lennox Lewis. Yeah. So for Jake Paul, if you want to put your money where your mouth is, stop going on Twitter and asking Draymond Green to put up $10 million to go forth and have so much going for himself on his side, and you want to pick a fight with an NBA player. Now you're just reaching. Like I said again in my last previous videos, leeching and reaching, of course. It never gets old. It's nothing new. Jake Paul, if you want to be a true, legitimate contender, fight a real fighter, and let's see if you can put your money where your mouth is.
Morning, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki standing by Logan Paul, saying that despite the advertising sanctions recently imposed on the 22-year-old's channel, YouTube is not ready to end its relationship with the man whose network has 15 million followers. Since the January suicide incident, Paul has made some more nefarious headlines, joking about taking the Tide Pod Challenge, the meme that has spread across the internet in which kids try to eat detergent capsules. He also drew poor reviews for tasing a dead rat in one of his most recent videos. That video.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Saturday, November 5th, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. WWE Crown Jewel, where Roman Reigns will defend the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship against Logan Paul.
And so now we can actually talk about the next segment that I've actually been talking about for 4 years now. And of course, some of you probably are tired of me talking about this, but I already understand how you feel. But your negative energy will not faze me, not one solitary bit. So who I'm talking about Logan Paul, of course. I see Logan Paul has been making waves in news media like Inside Edition, E.T., Good Morning America. I mean, you name it. This man has been over everywhere, but not in a good way, because now YouTube themselves, including Susan Wojcicki, happen to back him, knowing that they don't want to cut ties from him because he is well over 20 million subscribers in his first YouTube channel. His second channel, Impulsive Podcast, has well over 4 million subscribers, of course. And the craziest part of the whole thing is that these are the ones that Susan Wojcicki and YouTube themselves handpicked and don't want to cut ties from. So the thing that I'm absolutely kind of pissed off, is the fact that he still remained relevant. And crazy enough, we've absolutely saw how he absolutely traumatized young viewers from 13 and under of his stupid, idiotic antics. And still he goes on now that there's no more ideas, and so he just tucked tail between his legs and go to boxing. Didn't really pan out that well because his first opponent was KSI. And that fight ended in a result of a TKO. So Logan Paul, as of this point, is 0-1 in boxing. And how is it that he could actually further his popularity by fighting a retired, undefeated boxer? We all know who he is. It's Floyd Money Mayweather. So explain to me, why would you absolutely accept the fight that does not have judges? This is basically Logan Paul's biggest fight of his amateur boxing career, and the only way to legitimize or further his popularity is to defeat Money Mayweather. But it didn't pan out. They did not have no damn judges. How in the hell can you have a boxing exhibition match with no judges? And as I call it right down the middle, it is all about money, of course. Everybody say that Mayweather won. Everybody said Logan Paul won. But really, they didn't win anything. Nobody has not have a win. There's no win in this except for more money. Simply, who got most out of the deal was Floyd Mayweather, because 5 years ago, when he faced Manny Pacquiao, he had the biggest payday in his entire career, $250 million, and still right here is less than what he made 5 years ago. So with that being said, it's just a waste of time to watch a guy like him finesse hardworking men and women like myself and everybody else around the country to throw money at it, and then he gets the money out of it, most of the money out of it. But Logan Paul don't even get his share, his $250K out of the whole deal. Logan Paul, this is what happens when you absolutely deal with a businessman who really don't give a damn about you because you're a big YouTuber, of course. Basically, in the boxing world, there is no love for big YouTubers. There isn't. But at the same time, that's not the real reason why that I'm absolutely pissed off. If you go back and recap of what I've been talking about on my YouTube, big YouTuber rant of how I've absolutely broke this whole thing down, I've absolutely said that Logan Paul isn't a good role model. Like when they say, never meet your heroes. And they're absolutely right about it. I would never meet my heroes because in the end, they will all let you down and feel so discouraged. But at the same time, but that's not the real reason why I'm so pissed off about this. I'm pissed off about the fact that this guy absolutely did what he did in the suicide forest in Tokyo, Japan. He disrespected the culture. He did all these things, act stupid and stuff like that. Weak ass apology, tase dead rats and all that. Fast forward from there, boxing didn't pan out the way he wanted to. Fast forward from that, now the real issue that I have is that how in the hell can you let WWE sign a contract with him? Why? And then you send him directly to the main roster, either Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. I mean, are they smoking something? Or are they drinking some type of alcohol or something? I don't know what the hell did they be thinking sometimes. Celebrities do not have a wrestling background. They do not have any wrestling training, but they can actually go into a match in the main event of WrestleMania and just think that they are wrestlers and they're superstars. I mean, it's bad, really. It is really bad. But yes, Logan Paul happened to headline WrestleMania with The Miz going up against Dominic and Rey Mysterio. And yes, they won. But the turning point was that Miz turned on Logan Paul, and then by the time all that happened, several months later, he signed a lucrative contract. Of course, I don't know, but went to go and set up a feud with The Miz, and from there, now, out of all things, now he wants to go ahead and face the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, of course. Yes, the head of the table of the bloodline. I mean, has WWE lost it? How can you cannot separate popularity over experience, or should I say popularity over greatness. I mean, Roman Reigns is holding two titles, both his shoulders. The WWE Championship and the Universal Heavyweight Championship, undisputed. Logan Paul has not been in the WWE in a full year, doesn't even have WWE gold at all. I mean, come on. You know well as I do that Brock Lesnar is the only guy can take him. Of course, there's one bad. It was one bad match, of course, but Logan Paul has no chance in hell. Let me say this one more time. For every last one of y'all Logan Paul lovers fanboys and bandwagoners try to critique me. Logan Paul has no chance in hell to beat Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. I'm sorry. The only way that I can sum this up is one of two ways. Either his brother comes down and try to help him out in some way, shape, or form, or the next craziest thing that comes to mind is that The Rock just happened to shows up and just gave Logan Paul a rock bottom and then just slaps the hell out of Roman Reigns. That's the only funniest thing that I could actually think of at this point. Simply, I really don't want to. I will not watch that match because it's not even worth my time, because that right there is it will be a one-sided match. Of course, it will be. It's a one-sided match. Nobody gonna watch that. I mean, we rather watch a top contender against the champion. Logan Paul is not even a top contender. He is just an upstart. He is a rookie star. Simple as that. And some of y'all is backing him because of his popularity. You can't, compare popularity over experience, over greatness. You can't do it. It can't be done. Y'all already know this. But y'all go ahead and continue this. That's why WWE itself has went down because of Vince McMahon, because of the fact of the scandal that happened several years ago, and he had to step down. He had to retire. And now all of a sudden, now they're on Damage Control. Now you bring in all these other celebrities. Don't make no sense. And then right down to it, I used to watch WWE back in the early 1990s when it ran wild with Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Yokozuna, Lex Luger. I mean, Bret the Hitman Hart. You have so many others that it was lit, from the new generation to the Golden Age era, all the way up to the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was the absolute vocal point of the whole thing. It risen the bar ever since they've had the Monday Night Wars with WCW, and it was absolutely a great thing that they did back then in the late 90s, and I missed those times. But now it just dumbed down from the Ruthless Aggression era in the early 2000s all the way down to the modern era. And the modern era don't even make no sense to me. All I got to say, Logan Paul, I mean, as a person, I have all the respect for you, but as a content creator, I kind of don't, because look at the damage you've put this platform for us small content creators who feel like they want to have fun and have a fun experience. But after this, I hope that Roman Reigns just swipe you under the rug, and hope that will never ever happen again, because this going up against a guy is absolutely a career suicide. Just saying.
FaceTime, yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Oh,
and then,
shit,
so now
what
he's
the
fucking
fuck?
famous somehow, and I'm famous.
Yo, you're in trouble. Why?
Oh shit.
That crypto shit. Hey, Steve, get his ass from right now.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, how we doing, though?
Real good.
You good?
I just did a podcast with Tana Mojo. It was so raw, so real.
Hey.
Got the...
Hey,
Yo,
Mr.
buddy.
Gemini.
Jesus, bro, you scared the
I think you should box. Here's why. You have natural energy. They see it in the stream, right? You need that. Like, you have natural energy. You got
What do
some
you mean,
cold
why?
energy about you.
Like, bro.
Like some cold, like fucking no emotions, like killer energy about you. I'm 39, she's 20, so he came at me like, call me a creep or whatever. And he was like saying that I had like a little dick, my dick didn't work as shit, and he got in trouble with YouTube.
Damn.
So he's on the fence.
See,
yeah.
what do you think about that?
No, what's even worse is every twice that dude.
Yo, he legitimately went on his show. This motherfucker went on his show. He said he was on antidepressants, and the side effects were that he didn't have feeling in his dick. Projection. He was trying to put that on me.
Damn.
I'm focusing.
The lie detector, the hood nigga lie detector detects. Get down, please. Calm down. It's gonna be alright. Calm down. It might go down.
No. Absolutely not.
For a half a decade, I've absolutely talked about this individual. And of course, I've absolutely done everything to roast him. I've done a lot during my time stepping away from gaming, and then happened to deal with many issues. But the one in particular that I've actually got into with this issue is none other than Keemstar, of course. Keemstar happened to make waves and made, you know, reviews about us small content creators, saying that we are small, irrelevant people, that we need to quit and all this bunch of mess. But I've heard that at one time he was thinking about retiring. You said yourself that you love doing this because you do this because you love this so much. And then all of a sudden now you said something about YouTube is dying. How is YouTube dying, actually? You said TikTok is booming, Snapchat, you know, Twitter, Facebook, you know, you name it. But the craziest part of the whole thing is that you have not done all of your research. You haven't done all. Because for many years, YouTube was supposed to be all about us. But somehow, in some way, y'all just didn't realize that YouTube themselves is trying to throw y'all under the bus, or should I say just, you know, sweep y'all under the rug. So leaving room for other famous celebrities to come on to YouTube. So just leave y'all out to dry. But Keemstar, you say back then about something of the threshold, instead of being 1,000 subscribers, is supposed to be 5,000 subscribers. And then by that time you said instead of 4,000 hours of watch time, why not 20,000 hours of watch time? That would be kind of hard for you to believe that you would say something like that, knowing that you had posted on Twitter saying that you had your YouTube partnership taken away for 2 weeks, while we had ours taken away for something that we haven't done. We were punished unjust for someone else's wrongdoing. But this is how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, all I know now is that this is the correct way to never meet your heroes, because somehow in some way they will absolutely put you down, turn you down, and they will discourage you in every possible way. And then we know that Keemstar has been making waves. He's absolutely kind of destroyed lives. One in particular goes by the name of Basherverse. But let me say this to his family: my deepest condolences to Basherverse. I mean, he've had it hard ever since Keemstar made everything possible to ruin his run on YouTube, and now he lost the battle of COVID. And then I'm seeing on YouTube that on Twitter that he happens to, you know, said his deepest condolences for about a minute, and then after that he went full 100, and then just happened to just totally completely obliterated him, knowing that he just passed. And then the Etika situation, of course, that interview should have never taken place. He could have just been a better man, just happened to just find himself doing something like canceling the whole thing and try to call him and try to, pull him to the side and just talk to him. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. He tweeted and tweeted and tweeted until that happened. But I never realized one day that I've absolutely saw that you like to crash streams, other streaming parties and stuff. That's what you do now, huh? You got nothing going on for yourself. You talk about, like I said earlier, for the past few years, this guy talks about so many others. He talks about so many big YouTubers who absolutely do a lot more better than he does. He has well over 5 million subscribers. Everybody else has about 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 22 million subscribers, and he has 5. He had so many channels terminated it, but he just managed to come back all of a sudden with Drama Alert, and everybody say that's not his channel, but he is Drama Alert. So don't believe what he says anyway. So by the time I've absolutely heard about all of this, I mean, this guy was no good for the platform. He doesn't care about none of us, none of these ones that I've been talking about for so long. They don't care. They don't even care of what state of this social media platform is in right now. It went from, you know, flourishing all the way up to the number 2 until it just reached the bottom of the barrel. Of course, that's what it is now. I mean, what can I actually say anything more about this guy? This guy is the leech. He is. I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna say I dislike him. I say I just totally disrespect him because he just don't respect nobody else, but he thinks that he's better than anybody else. But if let me ask you a question, Keemstar. If you say that you're better than everybody else, then you need to. Why haven't you reached the top of YouTube just like PewDiePie and T-Series? Why haven't you? It goes to show you that you're just like the rest of us. Down to the bottom, to the ground. You were popular. You were, until now YouTube has made other plans. Other plans to not barely recommend you, demonetize your videos, and then without warning or reason, without any reason why that your video is being demonetized, happens to take down your videos for about 24 to 48 hours, and then all of a sudden, just like that in a snap, your videos comes back. Like I said, they've already got plans. The algorithm themselves has already been corrupted, but Keemstar say it's all fine. But he gonna say one time that YouTube is dying. Where the fuck have you been at? YouTube has been dying. It's not other social media platforms is just sucking it dry. It's basically you guys not doing your jobs. Y'all not doing anything. Y'all not preparing yourself what's coming next on this platform. But y'all have all the money, but y'all don't want to speak up, because if y'all do speak up, y'all all get y'all revenue taken away, your merch, your sponsorships, all of it taken away. And that goes for you, Keemstar. You said that you was going to retire, but obviously you couldn't stay away. You couldn't. So, little man, old man, just do us all a favor. If you're going to plan on retiring, just do like Mayweather too. Both of y'all need to seriously retire, because you too are irrelevant.
We weren't planning on making this video tonight, but our hand has been forced, and we're making this video to desperately ask our community, everybody who watches our videos, for your support.
Please just rally around us today.
YouTube has put into place discriminatory new actions to disable every single comment section on all of our videos. And I say that word discriminatory knowing the implications of it, and I mean it 100%.
This is a message for YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, and I know it's Thanksgiving, but I think I speak for almost all the YouTube creators on the platform that we will be thankful once you resign. Basically, when you became CEO of YouTube back in 2014, you have made my life a living hell. From the very beginning, you put businesses before creators, and honestly, YouTube was a fun space. I woke up every day so happy and feeling amazing, and I felt like I helped so many people in the start of my YouTube. But since 2014, it has just gone downhill. You basically put big businesses before creators. So I still am like in shock that like you guys can make money off of creators creating their own content and following by your rules. I don't know why people have to jump through hoops to become a YouTube partner. We are the reason YouTube exists. I am one of the many reasons YouTube is what it is today. And since 2014, there's been the ad apocalypse. You have just done us creators dirty.
I'm so excited to be here tonight to present Susan Wojcicki with the Free Expression Award.
So let me bring y'all guys up to speed so far what I know. It goes back almost 10 years ago, back in 2014, a certain individual who happens to be named as CEO of YouTube. Goes by the name of Susan Wojcicki, of course. Yes. Ever since her time as CEO, things has gone from bad to worse. So let's see. Let me break this down. So from there was the Adpocalypse 1 and then the Adpocalypse 2.0. Then there was the demonetizations that came to be that when your video has not meet the criteria, it gets shut down for about 24 to 48 hours until they just happen to just put it back up when they actually deem to feel like it. So from there, let's see, 2017, 3 years later after being named CEO, PewDiePie did what he did, and after all of that, we had a threshold of meeting the criteria of 10,000 lifetime views. By then, everything was going fine until we had to meet that criteria until almost a year later of February 20th of 2018, when she defended on the news media of one individual who did that stupid stunt back in Tokyo, Japan, that filming was prohibited into that forest, going by the name of Logan Paul. So by that time, that criteria has been moved up again to 1,000 subscribers to 4,000 hours of watch time. That was simply way much more harder than we had to do, and it was so frustrating for us. And at the same time, I'm absolutely wondering, does it possibly get any worse? Well, a year later after that, back in September 1st of 2019, YouTube themselves got caught again when the FCC saw that their adult ads was, being on kids' videos on YouTube. That's when they came in and they settled a lawsuit of $170 million, and that's when it all came to be now that this so-called law act known as the Copper Law Act was taken in immediate effect, that we had to deem our videos for kids or not for kids. So that's what it was so far. So by that time, I would say right around nearly 2-3 years later, she gets awarded a free expression award, because YouTube themselves sponsored this themselves, and Susan Wojcicki get awarded for it. But what does this all mean? It means that she gets all the opinions that clings onto herself, but us small content creators and other content creators don't even get a chance to even try to express our feelings, to set a point across, to set the record straight, this, that, and the other. But we get our First Amendment rights taken away just because this all happened. But that's not the only thing that got me got me all kind of scratching my head. But what I found out was absolutely alarming to me. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, who has led the world's largest site for the last 9 years, is stepping down from her role. She's being replaced by Neil Mohan, her longtime lieutenant. During her tenure, YouTube became increasingly important to the business for Google, which bought the site in 2006. The Alphabet, the holding company that houses both of them, in 2022, YouTube generated $29.2 billion in ad sales, more than 10% of Alphabet's total revenue. Wojcicki's departure also has meaningful symbolism for Google and tech in general. For years, she has been one of the very few women to operate huge business tech, and she was an integral part of Google's founding. She's famously rented out her Silicon Valley garage to co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin in 1998, and joining the company as its 16th employee a year later. So, which does this all mean? Why is she departing from YouTube after 9 years of being CEO? What does this all mean? After her stunt of what she did to small content creators and LGBTQ plus content creators, now she's deciding that she has reached nearly $1 billion of her net worth revenue. Now she decides to step down as CEO of YouTube after leaving this whole site in complete ruin, because she thought maybe, just maybe, bringing in Hollywood stars and just bringing them more money or helping them out of jacking up their subscriber numbers up. So some things just don't add up. All of a sudden, finding this out after a few days, on February 16th at noon, this was already been in effect that she was going to step down. But why? Why is she's doing? Why she's doing it for? As it has to be more. It has to be more to this. You've been in charge of this thing for nearly 10 years and you decide to step down. You got more money, and then all of a sudden you screwed people. Actually, you screwed a lot of content creators over with this threshold, terms of service, and everything else that goes along with it. And now you've decided to tuck tail and run, to step down. You didn't actually make this whole thing better. You've made it worse. Now you've absolutely done all of this because why? Because you now have almost $1 billion of your net worth revenue. And now you put your longtime lieutenant into the CEO chair. To me, this is not a win-win. This is absolutely that we're just absolutely concerned of what state of YouTube is going to be in now that she has officially stepped down of all of this. We don't even know what's going to happen next. All these other things will not subside. No, threshold will still remain. Everything else that's happened for the past nearly decade will still remain after she's gone. This is not a win-win at all. Even though that she decided to step down, it still doesn't change the fact that YouTube is still in ruin after everything that's happened so far. So before I go, I need to wrap this up and to actually talk to you guys for a minute, because I've learned over for the past half a decade of how this all transpired and how bad it's gotten for most of us. And I can only tell you how bad this is going to get now after what I have heard for the past few days, since finding out that everybody who is absolutely trying to do all they can to find another way to make $1 million or another $1 million, they're just gonna forget about everybody else that helped made them, and then just forget about us who supported them. The sad part is that when they absolutely make all that money, they just don't know what lies ahead with them. They know the type of problems that they're gonna have when they make $1 million and when they make another $1 million. And then they make another $1 million, and then they make another $1 million. They already know how bad this is going to get. This is why I rather do this as a passion instead of profession, because I love to entertain people with the things I love to do, instead of trying to look for numbers and stuff like that, and how many subscribers I can get or how much money I can get. I don't even really care about that now after what I have learned for half a decade of all of this, and I just really don't really care about money anymore, because let's face it, we already know what's the deal on everything. We know about the CEO, we know about everybody else who on this, and we already know about some of the others who actually has an OnlyFans.com account and just want to make another $1 million of this and don't even care. So by saying this, by going by, McJuggernuggets, aka Jesse Ridgway, we already know why that he wanted to come back, because he already knew that Storyfire, the video sharing site that he created, that he tried to go up against YouTube, failed. It failed miserably because of the numbers wasn't stacking up against YouTube themselves. YouTube has been around since 2005. You just started, then you failed. Then after that, you returned to YouTube. Now you're on YouTube full time yet again. Still not doing anything on your end, knowing that you could make this platform twice as better than it was before. But you're still the same guy who wants to try to make more money and don't care about anything else. Want to try to make another award in the streamies, but let's face it, there wasn't no YouTube Rewind ever since this pandemic came to be. There shouldn't be a streamies award after this neither, because let's face it, nobody's doing nothing for anybody else, only for yourself to try to make up if you're going to make another $1 million, or you're making millions of views per video. So my only thing is that when we all try to, reach out to you guys, we were ignored. But that's fine. We always know that we can always do this a lot more better for ourselves and asking for you guys for help. So by that, we already know about Will Vicky and the Cash Me Outside girl. Two individuals have basic similarities of saying one says that she's black and the other saying that she's trying to deny of the fact that she's not black, but she's trying so hard to be. Like I said, you want the color, you say you want it, but at the same time, you do not want the struggle. The struggles that we go through every day, you don't want it, because how can you go over the struggles and you got millions and millions and millions? Well, Vicky, you've been saying the same stick for the past 7 years, and look where your subscribers base at on YouTube. You've made well over 1 million subscribers. And then going to you, Cash Me Outside girl, your own mother helped you go on Dr. Phil, and now you want to cut ties from her just because you got now that you're a rapper now that you have an OnlyFans.com account, now your net worth is well over $60 million, all of this, and now that you want to cut ties from the one who simply pulled you in to Dr. Phil, who helped you become a bona fide star overnight, 15 minutes of fame, rapper, then OnlyFans.com, and then all of this, and then you want to try to say that you want to try to get a scholarship fund to the young adults. Sweetie, you can't even spell scholarship, letting alone that you only know how to spell either IRS or OnlyFans.com. That's all that is. You can't even tell you can't even do it, because I don't even want to hear no crap, none. Because like I said before, y'all say y'all want the color, but at the same time, y'all don't want the struggle. Y'all just doing all this for a punchline, all this for show, wearing a mask, being a facade, playing a just small, stupid role. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. And then what do I need to go for with Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and Money Mayweather? All this is more money, more clout, more attention. Do I need to try to break this down for you? I can break this down with one word. It has always been about money. Logan Paul doesn't know what to do. Boxing, WWE, MMA. Jake Paul does not know what to do. He helps his brother out at WWE, going up against the undisputed WWE Universal Champion at Crown Jewel, and still lost. Logan Paul is still 0-1 in boxing, but he wants to go ahead and try to sign a contract for UFC with Dana White. Then Jake Paul want to go ahead and try to keep his undefeated streak intact and go for doing what he wants to do and going to another MMA company and sign a contract for that. And so these two do not know what to do. And then Floyd Mayweather don't even know what to do, whether he wants to stay retired or he just want to continue exhibition easy fights for more money or what. We don't know. Either you owe the IRS or you owe casinos that you've been around gambling, of course. We already know the deal. We already seen the article on the internet. We already know that you owe money. You can say that you're the greatest of all time, but basically in your own belief, in your own opinion, then you're entitled to. Let's face it, you are in your own right the greatest defensive boxer that ever played sports. You said that you do it as a science, but you will never test your skills against Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis. You will never test your skills against Muhammad Ali, Smoking Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Leon Spinks, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Mike Tyson. The list goes on. In the modern era, you say that you are better than Muhammad Ali, but I say this and only this: you cannot be the greatest of flexing so hard, of knowing how much money that you have and knowing that you have all of this and you're undefeated. There were other guys that were a hell of a lot more better than you back then in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, going way back than the 60s. So in your eyes, you can say that, but some people would absolutely just say that you're just highly overrated. Now switching towards now to another guy, Keemstar, who absolutely liked to crash streams and do all this, saying that he wanted to retire but decided to come back on YouTube to just talk about things that really, is the same thing that he's been talking about for the past 13 years. We already know what you're going to talk about next. It's nothing new. It's always been the same thing. If it's not yourself, it's Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Deji, KSI, the whole ball of wax, and we already know what you're going to talk about. We already know your famous catchphrase when Dromler comes on. We already know this. We don't care. You decided that you wanted to do this, and then you want to bring your 21-year-old girlfriend into the mix, and how old are you? You're in your 40s, so you're basically going out with a college girl who is absolutely who probably could be your daughter. So I'm just scratching my head on that one. So good luck on that, because let's face facts, you're just an old guy who just seeking attention. Every last one of you, including Susan Wojcinski, all want attention, but really every last one of y'all needs to seek serious intervention, because let's face facts, all money and attention just all comes down to y'all personality is so jacked up. We don't even know who you are anymore. Like I said before, never meet your heroes, because you will be let down. It's easy when you go up to them and try to meet them in person. It will be an absolute nightmare to do so, and we already know. Out of all this that I've said so far, the only thing that I can say this to McJuggernuggets, to Will Vicky, to Cash Me Outside Girl, to Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Mayweather, Keemstar, and even Susan Wojcinski, including the entire YouTube in general: unjust don't prosper.
Oh, and there's one more thing before I go. I know some of you famous big YouTubers always like to be on top of a pedestal and everything. We already know that y'all love to talk about yourselves and go on Twitter and try to say who did this or who said that and all that, this, that, and carry on. But y'all really missed the conception or this quote that really holds up to this day and also in everyday life. With great power comes with great responsibility. Y'all got so much money, y'all have fame, y'all have popularity, but at the same time, y'all have become so irresponsible at the same time. So I was going to shed a little light on what we've been dealing with, and also who I'm talking about, who specialize in and saying it like it is and not how it was. Well, y'all might know him. Ooh, everybody knows him. He's legend. He's an icon. So in the interview that dates back over 30 years ago actually holds up to what we are dealing with to this very day and to every moment that happens, because every last one of y'all just want money, and knowing for the fact that there's so many people suffering and dying, and some of you guys don't even care. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave y'all with this and let y'all absolutely have whatever knowledge that y'all have left in your heads. Hopefully y'all figure this one out, because y'all really need it, because y'all know this is the new year and still some of you still don't get it. So with that being said, happy new year. Y'all be safe. Set your goals. Aim big. Little small, and enjoy the little things. And that's it. So until we meet again, I'm out.
This world is such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. If you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's down, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, I mean, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we passed that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, you know, everybody need a little help on their way to being, you know, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something and they to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it, and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. And if there's a white person who got money, then he need to help them. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it need to be real. And it need to be before we all die and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants.
What do you say to people that say, well, they earned it? Now you go out and you're earning it.
If they earned it, then I think that that's good, and I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or a dollar. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movies about, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians by the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are? You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never going to be rich, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary. And it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or, look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion. But can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole 9. That's not fair to me.
So allow me to say this to you one more time.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.